Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. Why is this former cheerleader
When I'm mad, I lose all control.
taking out her anger
She's giving me black eyes.
He's done the exact same stuff to me.
on her fiancé?
You broke the plate, and then you storm off. You got scratches on your neck, you got scratches on your back. I don't care. What I care is that you guys are getting physical. That's dangerous. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, Victoria's here, and when she was in high school, she was a cheerleader, a member of the school band. She played softball, ran track, and danced, all while getting straight A's. Now, on the outside, she just seemed to have it all. However, deep down inside, Victoria says she was battling to control a great deal of anger and rage. Now, today at age 19, Vic says her temper has escalated, causing her to slam doors, throw things, and inflict physical harm to her fiancé, Jeremy. Not to mention leaving this message on his voicemail.
You're dirty, nasty, ugly, Puerto Rican beaner. You're disgusting, and you should have been put 6 feet deep. You can barely even speak English when you lived here. So what's your excuse for being so retarded? Oh wait, you don't have one.
Charming. Victoria says things are not what they seem, as she says Jeremy provokes her to lose her temper, and she just needs my help.
My anger is very out of control. I absolutely take most of my anger out on Jeremy.
Sauce it up, sauce it up. This is mushrooms.
Okay, I was just asking.
All right, I was just telling you. Anything could set her off.
Why would you put it on there looking like that?
All right, my bad. Over the smallest thing, Victoria completely goes off the deep end.
Why don't you try just actually talking to me instead of getting pissed off too and fueling it? I feel like when it comes to Jeremy, everything he says is just on autopilot.
When I
We're
try to
both gonna
talk
go
to you and I
raging.
tell you to calm down, you tell me, don't tell me to calm down.
You think telling me to calm down is gonna make me calm down? No, it's gonna piss me off more. Jeremy does purposely try to make me mad. I think it's entertainment to him. Why would you put cheese on it? Like, oh, you know I can't. Like, why? When we do get into a fight, it does start with name calling. I've called Jeremy worthless, piece of stupid, loser, liar.
Piece
I already won.
of worthless, Call me a Mexican piece of dirt.
I said you were a dirty Mexican. When I get in a rage, anything breakable in sight is going to get broken.
These are all from throwing bowls.
I'll break glasses, I'll punch holes in walls,
This is from a hairspray can that I threw.
I'll slam doors.
She'll grab whatever she can get her hands on.
Maybe a simple I'm sorry for putting cheese on the pizza, that'd be great.
I already did. When we were right there and you told me the
You did not say you were sorry. Don't lie and say you said that you were sorry when you didn't.
Said I was sorry.
No,
Do
you
want-
didn't, Jeremy. No, you didn't. You did not say that you were sorry. Oh my freaking ugh! I'm literally shaking, I'm so angry.
Glass got all the way down over here. Wow. This is ridiculous. It happens like so often though, so I'm kind of just, I guess, becoming accustomed to it.
I blame Jeremy for all of this because ever since we've been dating, I've been raging.
And nobody that loves each other in their right mind will try to stress out the person they love every day with the same crap.
All of this is absolutely Jeremy's fault.
Okay, it's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, thank you.
I'm a little confused, so help me get my bearings. Are you here to defend what you do, understand what you do, or change what you do?
I'm here to understand and change what I do. I want to understand why I'm like this and why I'm...
But you seem to be defending it.
some of the things that he's saying is not true. He is a liar, and he does want to make himself look like the victim, even though he has done a lot of the same things to me.
Okay.
But I just don't talk about them because I don't want him to look like a bad person.
Did you chip his tooth in February?
Yes, I did. He was drinking a glass of water, and we were arguing, and he called me a white whore, white B word. So I tapped the glass, not knowing it would break his tooth, of course, but it did break his tooth.
So he called you a white whore bitch, and you went,
Yeah, exactly that.
if this is the glass, tap it the way you tapped it.
Like if it's sideways, like that. Really, on his tooth. Literally, on his tooth.
He must have brittle teeth. Did he?
Look at his teeth. He never brushed his
Did
teeth.
it break the glass?
It did not break the glass.
Just his teeth.
Yes.
Here's an incident report from May. That was February, then this is May. And it was made after you were arrested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were called. Jeremy and I had been arguing all morning, and I had to go to work. And the cops came in and arrested me after they had stopped at the apartment, talked to him. He opened the door shirtless. He had a small scratch right here. It was only half an inch, and it was from our dogs, because we have 3 German Shepherds. And they were jumping up on him, giving him hugs and kisses. They were excited to see him. But I told the cops that he never did anything to me that started that. But what really happened was he was holding me down, and I told him to let me go, and he wouldn't. So he leaned back and flung me off the bed and started making me hit myself in the face with my own hands.
Well, they should have arrested the dog then, according to you.
No, nobody.
All right, pause up. You're going in,
He
right?
knew it. He knew it wasn't what the cops were thinking. He wasn't pressing charges. He told them it was just the dog. But in the state of Texas, they can pick up charges, and that's exactly what they did.
Okay. And you were upset because when you went to jail, you're lactose intolerant, and you're a vegan, and in jail they don't have
I didn't.
custom menus.
No, of course not. I understand that, and I realized that. I did tell them when they asked me when I was in booking that I can't eat dairy or anything like that. And they didn't provide anything for me that I could eat, which was fine with me because I was going to get out soon. But they did feed like green hot dogs and just the worst of the worst food.
Was jail.
Yeah. It was miserable, and that was my wake-up call. That's why I reached out to you. I need to learn how to control my anger because I want this relationship to work so bad. I've went to multiple therapists growing up, and nothing ever seems to help. This rage is uncontrollable. I don't even feel like me anymore.
Okay, so if I could just get him to quit provoking you, then you would be okay.
I wouldn't say necessarily provoke, but to get him to actually listen to me and talk to me instead of like when I get mad, he will feel it. Like he will start saying things back to me and getting me even heated.
But you're already mad.
Yeah, I'm already, in a sense, mad, but not raging.
You seem to fly into a rage because he put cheese on your pizza, you broke a plate.
Yeah, I'm
while
lactose
we were
intolerant.
there.
He knows that, and I'd been throwing up before we had actually went to go do that stuff, and he just didn't take into consideration I didn't have any medicine. I was already sick, and I did not want to be throwing up while we were finishing out the rest of the day.
Yeah. You broke the plate, and then you storm off, and this is him cleaning it up.
Usually he is the one to clean it up. He'll sweep it into a pile, and then I'll pick it up and throw it in the trash can. But he's usually picking it up because he doesn't understand how mad he makes me.
I just can't let this slide. Earlier, you called him, and this is your word, retarded. I have to tell you, that's as offensive as any of the other words you called him.
I agree. When I get mad, it's like word vomit. It just keeps coming out.
Coming up, Jeremy is here and says he still loves Victoria, even though he claims she slapped, punched, bit him, and hit him with a dog leash. She says, maybe, but he provokes me into doing these things. Now, there are reasons people get angry. I don't mean just specific topics. There are actual categories of reasons people get angry and rage. And we're going to talk about what they are today. And if you are that way or you know somebody that is, you're going to want to listen with both ears. We'll be right back.
In the past 8 months, there's been a lot of physical violence. She's punched me, she's kicked me, she's scratched me, bitten me. She's given me black eyes. I don't think she'd kill me because she's a vegan, because you know vegans don't like killing things.
And later,
Jeremy told me that they actually used to own 2 rabbits, and Victoria killed one of them in a fit of rage when she threw it at a wall.
One time, Jeremy called me, and he was panicking, and Victoria said that if she saw him walking to my house, then she would run him over. I think you need to leave this relationship, Jeremy.
My anger isn't just directed towards Jeremy. At times, anybody who gets in my way can definitely make me angry. I work at a front desk of a hotel, and people will just ask the dumbest things, and it just sets me off. How can people be so stupid? I do have a lot of road rage when people pull out in front of me, when people drive really slow, or they pass me when I'm already going fast. I will follow them for a little bit. I'll be honking, flashing my bright lights at them, tailgating them. What really sets me off with most people is stupidity. What people need to understand is when they do stupid things, natural selection is going to do its thing.
well, Jeremy says when he met fiancée Victoria, he begged her to go out with him because he thought she was the most beautiful girl in the entire world. But just a month after getting engaged, he claims Victoria flipped and began calling him names like stupid, ugly, and disgusting, and even hit him in the eye, causing him to need stitches. But he says, despite it all, he's madly in love with her.
Victoria means the world to me. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever met. There's also a dark side when it comes to Victoria. She starts coming at me like, walking up to me like she's got her hands balled up, and she's just standing over me like trying to size me up. In the past 8 months, there's been a lot of physical violence. A dog leash was hanging by the door, and I was on my way out, and she grabbed it and just started whipping me with it. She's punched me, she's kicked me, she's scratched me, bitten me. She's given me black eyes, hit me in the nose. She's kicked me in the balls quite a few times. Once we were arguing, I was drinking a glass of orange juice in the kitchen, and I called her, and she came in there and slapped the glass into my mouth and chipped my tooth. Well, one time she was having such a big rage fit that she got my PlayStation. She smashed it off the 3rd-story balcony.
He wasn't paying enough attention to me.
Oh, you think I was...
The solution is to throw it off.
I do have to hit her back because it's the only way I can protect myself. After attacking me for a while, I had to get up and finally defend myself. I got up and hit her back. It left her a black eye for almost 3 weeks. 3 months ago, we got into a real big fight, and it was really loud. The neighbors called the cops. Victoria ended up taking off to work, and while she was at work, the police showed up at my house.
What the police saw at the house was Jeremy had about a half-inch scratch on his stomach. He got the scratch from a dog.
They noticed there were scratches coming down right here and on my back. Dogs don't have 5 fingers, 4 fingers. You could clearly see a handprint.
Next thing I knew, the police showed up at my place of work and they arrested me for domestic violence. I was in jail for 2 days. Jail was absolutely the worst experience ever. I saw women with beards, mustaches. They served us green hot dogs.
I felt destroyed because that's my baby girl. I don't think she'd kill me because she's a vegan, because you know vegans don't like killing things. I love her to death. There's just a couple of things that need to get worked on, and if we can get through it, we'll be all right. We'll be great.
You better tell the truth.
What are you telling him?
He better tell the truth, because a lot of the things he is saying is not true. He's hit me, he's left me black eyes, bruises all over. He's done the exact same stuff to me. He's acting like he's just the innocent one, and you're not. That day that I got arrested, Jeremy, you know what you did to me. So why don't you say what you actually did to me and why I got arrested?
Hi.
How you doing?
How you doing?
First off, I want to say it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's good to meet you.
All right.
I just need to tell you, in case I get hit by lightning before I get it said, you don't want to be putting your hands on a woman in anger or in a fight. I don't care what she's doing. And I'm going to tell you this for a variety of reasons, but let me tell you for a selfish reason for you, you're going to wind up in prison. And if she's beating on you, then you need to do one of 2 things. You either need to get on the other side of a door, or you need to get out a window and run. And if that's what's happening in this relationship, you need to just keep running if that's what's necessary. And And if he's hitting you, and that's no way to live. I mean, you don't want to be in a relationship where you're getting hit.
Exactly. That's why we are here. We both made the conscious decision knowing that what we're doing is wrong, and we want to make this work. At least I do.
All right, now.
But you have to be honest about what's really happening.
Well, and so do you. Here's a snippet of the video that Victoria sent where she describes what it feels like to have extreme rage.
I used to be told I'm so cute when I'm mad. But now when I'm mad, nobody even wants to be around me because I push them all away anyway. When I'm mad, I lose all control of myself. Every value that I have is gone. I don't even know who I am when I'm angry, because that angry person, she throws bowls, plates, Xboxes, PlayStation, punches holes in walls and doors, kicks things, throws things.
What do you think about that when you look back at it?
It's just heartbreaking because I've been dealing with these issues for so long, and I feel like because I haven't dealt with them, they've progressed and got me to the point where now I'm not just having anger issues, I'm having raging issues.
Jeremy says despite the abuse that he deeply loves his fiancée Victoria, and he's looking at what is it about this dynamic that's causing this. It doesn't have anything to do with Jeremy. This is coming from the inside out. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that right after the break. That's your time ticking away. You want to talk about what happened that Saturday morning?
See, even you're laughing, but you were there. You know what you did.
Apparently you want to talk about that morning because you want to be right. And later, you had a reaction to a comment about killing a rabbit.
You think a bunny dying is funny? Yeah, then stop laughing.
Oof.
Are you gonna eat this? Not now.
These days, life at our house, I constantly feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I feel like if I make one wrong move, it could lead to an argument.
Hi, that drives me crazy. You know I don't like when you do that when I'm doing my makeup.
Oh, yeah? Fine. All right.
I didn't ask you to leave.
The next thing I know is I'm raging, breaking dishes, screaming at the love of my life.
Well, if you didn't piss me off, then I wouldn't be yelling at you when we fight.
We don't have to fight all the time either, but that happens. She needs to know that her anger is like tearing us apart. It's pushing me away.
We have to agree to be reliable historians here, because you say that you went to jail because the dog scratched him. And I have to believe there was more to it than that.
Yeah, of course there was, but the one that he told me about was they arrested him on the scratch right here, which was not from me. But because when he was holding me down and I was trying to let go after he flung me over and was doing all that, yeah, I was reaching back, doing everything I could to make him get off me. He wouldn't let me go.
Okay, but see, when you were talking about it before, it was just like nothing was physical. The dog just was loving on him and jumped up on him and scratched him. And next thing I know, I'm spending 2 days in jail expecting to eat a green hot dog. Okay, but that's not really what happened. What happened is you guys got into a big argument and you flew into a rage and he's trying to restrain you and you fall off a bed and you're reaching back trying to get your hands off of me and leave me alone. You wanted to be let loose, and you got scratches on your neck, you got scratches on your back. I don't know what happened, and frankly, I don't care. What I care is that you guys are getting physical and in a rage-fueled interaction on a regular basis, and that's dangerous.
I wasn't even mad when he was holding me back. He was just holding me down to hold me down.
Okay.
See, even you're laughing, but you were there. You know what you did, so why?
What is your point? What's your point?
The point is I got arrested because I was screaming and yelling because of what he did.
Breaking dishes.
I didn't even break a dish that day.
I can't believe y'all want to spend your time like this.
We don't.
I mean, the clock is ticking. See that clock up there on the wall? See it? Look up there. See that red clock up there? That's your time ticking away. You want to talk about what happened that Saturday morning? Have at it.
No.
It's your time if that's how you want to spend it.
No, I just want to move on so we can.
Well, apparently
we can
you
get better.
don't. Apparently you want to talk about that morning because you want to be right.
I'm over it. I just wanted the details to be straight and him to admit that what he did. Because a lot of people think I went to jail just because I went to jail. They don't know what really happened. So I'm past that. I just wanted to clear that up, that's all.
Okay. Feel better?
Yeah, actually I do.
Listen to this voicemail that Victoria left Jeremy while he was in Puerto Rico for his grandfather's funeral.
You're dirty, nasty, ugly, Puerto Rican beaner. You're disgusting, and you should have been put 6 feet deep in the grave, just like your nasty grandpa. You deserve to die along with him, and so does your ugly, disgusting. Your mother can't even speak English. She's been here for how long? She's too competent to learn English, and you can barely even speak English when you've lived here. So what's your excuse for being so? Oh wait, you don't have one. It must be genetics from your idiot mom.
Okay, now, what you want to do now is tell me what he did to provoke that, right?
No.
Why did you do it?
I did it because he told me that he was hanging out with a guy cousin, and I called him and I heard him talking to a female, and he told me I don't need to worry about it. Finally, he set me off, and I left him that nasty voicemail because I was so heated in that moment that I didn't know what else to say to get him to understand that I'm mad.
Okay. How many people here in this group think you have a problem with modulating your anger? I mean, just think about it honestly, and you think, yeah, my anger gets away from me sometimes. Just so raise your hand. Raise it really high so I can see. Okay, so you see a fair amount of people have trouble modulating. How many of you either have a problem modulating your anger or you know somebody that really has a problem modulating their anger? Raise your hand. Okay, now it's just like 75% of the people. So this is a pretty widespread problem. I say that so you don't feel like you're like some kind of freak or something, like you're the only one, because you're not. Do you agree that that message that you left is inappropriate no matter what somebody does?
No, completely. Yeah.
I mean, whether he's down there sleeping with 3 girls and sent you pictures of all 3 of them, would that be an appropriate voicemail to send?
No, because it's really not even worth my reaction, but I love him so much that I do react.
Okay, but would that be, do you think that voicemail is becoming to you as a lady?
No, not at all. It makes me look trashy. Having really traumatic experiences as a child, I took it out on myself for so long. Now I'm ready to not take it out on myself. And I shouldn't take it out on him or anybody.
What did you go through? Closed captioning provided by...
My childhood was far from perfect. Growing up, there was plenty of chaos in the house. Things were really unstable. And from age 5 until age 10, I was sexually molested and raped. What made matters worse was nobody knew what happened to me. I felt betrayed and abandoned. When I was 17, I was smoking marijuana, and I got in serious trouble with my family. I took matters into my own hands, and I got on a Greyhound bus and started my life. Jeremy is my lifesaver. Because he understands me, he doesn't think I'm crazy. He still thinks I'm the most beautiful woman he's ever met.
Let me tell you, when people are angry, they're at their weakest. People think, oh, they're angry so they're 250 pounds and strong. No, when you're angry, you're at your weakest because you've been victimized. And when you're raging, I mean, it's like you're fighting for your life. You feel like you are absolutely fighting for your place, your being at that point, which is why I said I hate for you to feel this way. Anger is nothing more than the outward manifestation of hurt, fear, or frustration, or some combination of all 3. If all of a sudden you just could not use this word, and instead you had to say, I'm hurt, or I'm afraid, or I'm frustrated, it would be a very different dialogue. But you use this because you think that's an attack mode, that's a protection mode, when you're actually feeling hurt or fear or frustration. So why do people feel these things? Well, it can happen because it's pent up inside. And one way it gets pent up inside is if at some time in your life, early on, you have been victimized, like as a child, you've been the subject of physical abuse, sexual molestation, abandonment, emotional abuse, any of these things where you know that you're being hurt, but you're powerless to fight back. And when that happens, that builds up inside and it festers and it festers until you get in a situation where you don't have to take it anymore from anybody.
I took it out on myself for so long, now I'm ready to not take it out on myself. And I shouldn't take it out on him or anybody.
So what happened that you were stuffing down so hard?
Well, having really traumatic experiences as a child, I've never been able to really accept a lot of things that I've been through.
What did you go through?
When I was 5, I was raped and molested for 5 years until I was 10.
And were you able to tell anyone?
Yeah, I told a family member when I was 12, but because I was a minor when it happened, and the person was also a minor when I went to court, they did plead guilty, but because they weren't a minor when I took it to court, they have no record.
That is an open wound.
And I just placed a tissue over it instead of really solving it.
In case nobody in the adult generation has called time out and said it, let me say, I'm really sorry that happened to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be right back. Closed captioning provided by... The rest of the book is fabulous, but I'm not trying to get you to buy the book, but I do want you to read that chapter if you're in this situation, so I'm going to put that chapter on the website for you. It will really make you think about the choices that you're making. I want to thank all of my guests today. Their homes, and you touched their lives in a caring way and gave us some great information to move things forward, and I thank you for doing that. We'll see you next time.